there is home, and I would be watching it if I was at home. But we're not at home. We're Metazoa Brewery. Glad to be here. I've had my 5 ounces of brew, and I switch back to first. But I want to thank you for coming out. I want to welcome you to our Story Slam and hope that you will tell a story tonight. Now, magical things happen. Not because it's these things. Not because you had a couple of those boosters. But because when you hear one story, it's going to make you want to tell another. Everybody is welcome to tell. And I want to remind you that you can win money. Not big bucks, but you could go to the Dollar Tree and rack up. I'd like to thank you. I say thank you to our co-sponsors, Storytelling Arts of Indiana and Freetown Village. Thank you, Metazoa, for hosting us. Now, tonight our theme is memories and mementos. Memories and mementos. I'm going to say that a lot of times because some of our memories are fake. At any rate, your story should be 5 minutes or less, told in first person. Must be true. How will you know if your nose done wrong? And based on the thing. And it could be loosely interpreted. Next month, we're going to be at Ralston's on January 26th. No, January 14th. No, January 18th. I'll get it right in a minute. My notes all over the place. But more, I'll tell you more about that before this is over. So tell everybody you know, in case there was a blizzard. And bring all your friends. Now, you sit down at tables, and at each table you will see a brochure that has a QR code. If you don't have one, let us know, because we need you to take a survey today before you leave, while you are having a GOOD time. Okay? We're going to break so that you can do that. As a matter of fact, let me make up a story about memories, and you can do it now. At any rate, I collect those. I do not belong to the Deltas. I have many friends in that organization. I do not belong to the Republican Party, although I have some ex-friends in that. I'll let them be Republicans. But I collect elephants because elephants are lucky. And I started doing it because in one of my theater exercises in undergrad, my first year, we had to pretend like we were an animal, and I picked an elephant. I don't know why. Had been near one, except when I went to Brookfield Zoo. So I've been collecting elephants ever since. As a matter of fact, it started off with stuffed elephants with their trunks up. My mother would always steal one from my house and take it home to our dog, Cinderella Bloomfield. Yes, that was her name. When she took her to the vet, she was embarrassed about the name she had given the dog, and she started calling the dog Cindy. But at any rate, I had to remind folks that I was collecting elephants and leave my elephants alone. So throughout all of my years of teaching, people have given me elephants. The elephant I wear every day, and the jade I wear every day from friends. And one day I was getting dressed for work, and my chain came loose, and the elephant fell down into the drain of the sink in my bathroom. So I promptly called the school secretary and said, "Look, I'm not coming because my elephant is in the drain, and nothing can happen to my elephant." She said, "Now, Stevie, calm down. Is there anybody else in your house?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, put some paper in the drain, leave it there. It's down in the track. And when you come home, you can get someone to take the pipe loose and find your elephant." I pondered over it for a minute. I said, "Okay, I'll try." So sure enough, all day long, I worried whether or not I'd see my elephant again. And this elephant is special to me because a friend of mine who's no longer with us gave it to me when her aunt died. Her aunt Lisa gave it to her. And so I've been tracing this elephant ever since. Now, in my house, if you come to my house, you will just start counting. Kids love to do it. As their eyes go up and down and all around, there are elephants on every surface. They go downstairs, there are elephants. They go in the bathroom, there are elephants. Now, I had a painting job done recently, so a lot of my elephants are in boxes, like 5 boxes of elephants from my last job at school. And I collect elephants, so they're close, near, and dear to me. So when a good friend died, the same one who gave me the elephant, her brother, as he packed up her house, brought me 2 bags of elephants. I haven't opened up the boxes yet, but these are my memories and my mementos. And most of the elephants that have been given to me, I can remember who gave them to me. Although I have some duplicates, I have some favorites. And so, did you hear that story? That was a story right there. Do you see how easy it is to talk about memories and mementos? See how I kind of roll them in together? Now, you too can do that. Here are slips of paper. I'm just going to reach in and magically pull one out. And the very first person to tell us a story will be, oh, I can't get this one apart. Joe Ibarra. Come on down.
I have a sneaky feeling I was going to be first. All right, so when I was little, my parents would take us all around the country on road trips. And wherever we would end up going, we would get all these little knickknacks. You know, those rolled penny things you get in the machine, some coffee mugs. I don't know why a 5-year-old got coffee mugs, but eventually when I got older, those became shot glasses. Now, when I left for Indiana State University for my undergrad, I realized something. Having all those things kind of started accumulating, and they became big boxes of stuff that I didn't really want to take with me everywhere. And so I was then starting to think, okay, I'm about to go to college. I'm going to start this big giant adventure, but I want to be able to keep these memories. How am I going to do it? And so before I left, on my 19th birthday, I bought myself a DSLR camera. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start to learn how to use this. And so I started on a 30-day, take a picture every day challenge. And here we are 12 years later, and I'm still doing it. And so the purpose of it is essentially take a picture of a person, an event, a skyline, a landscape, anything that represents that. And so initially it was a bit easy. I was trying to learn how to use my camera, but then came the part where, okay, how am I going to remember the details of that? Posting on social media, you really don't want to have a journal up there. So, in addition to taking pictures, I started associating them with music as well. So you have the audio and the visual. And so, a good example is, this is recent. So, May of 2021, there is a picture of the Barbersville Fire Training Tower and the song "I Want to Dance with Somebody" by Whitney Houston. So with that, my recruit class, that is literally our theme song. We happen to be just changing in the locker room, and then someone started playing it, and we all started screeching along with the Queen. And so it became very much a rallying song for us. So after every hard drill, every long day, we would just start blaring it out to the point in which our training chief started blaring it for us. Another example, another Whitney Houston song, "I Will Always Love You." And then I have a picture of one of my best friends singing karaoke at Ambrosini's bar in Terre Haute. Imagine a 275-pound man, tuba player from Hammond, Indiana, singing the notes perfect, like the Queen was in the room for something. I managed to snap that picture as everyone was like, That's going from him? Yes, it was. Then going to a picture of this old and rusted out hotel in Nevada. 2020, I took Route 66 from Chicago to Las Vegas. No, Chicago to Los Angeles. And then I started making my way to my ranger station by fire out there. And Bruce Springsteen's Moonlight Motel helps to complete that commitment. And something I love right now that I'd like to think of is a picture of my old ranger station in Central Idaho and the song I Choose You by the Steel Drivers. And with that memory, I remember going to the post office, sending a letter to my girlfriend who's actually over there and saying, hey, I'm coming back home. I really would like to see you. And then probably about 3 days later. Oh. So tonight, the song that's been going through my radio again and again is Blessings by All of Those. And I'll probably be taking a picture at some point tonight. Thanks.
Well, I'm going to buy you guys another mic stand. That was wonderful. I was trying to think of some of my songs. I only remember them when they come on the radio, and it's usually part of sampling. And I have to explain to my younger relatives who actually made that song. And then I go back into my office on the shelf where all my vinyl is, and I pull the original out so they know, you know what I'm saying. But I'm going to think of my theme song before the night is over. Listen, I did not tell you my name is Celestine Bloomfield, and I'm your MC. And I would love to stand up, but the good Lord don't want me to stand up right now. But I will stand up again before the night is over. Today, let's talk about some more rumors. I've been going to a new place to get my hair done. Got my new did today. It won't look like this tomorrow, but I look like this now. And the owner of the salon, I've seen her like maybe the last 6 months, and I'm talking, and it's a really nice place. Finally today, my beautician says my first name. And the other woman stopped and looked at me and she said, Celestine Bloomfield, well, you thought I buried at Indian Creek? I said, yes. She said, well, you were my teacher. We've been here 6 months together and you just not figuring that out. But it was wonderful because I asked her if she remembered her teachers. She could only remember two. Her first grade teacher and her second grade teacher. And I told her where they were and what they were doing. And she couldn't remember the other teachers. And she said it's because she thinks she didn't like the other ones. So I don't know. But I want you to know that we have volunteers here tonight who are timing you, who are doing the scoring. And somebody's doing something else. Timekeepers. No, I said no. Judging. Oh my God, you need to be judged. Listen. We are grateful that they are here and assisting us, and I'll tell you their names before the evening is over, because I'm going to have to get it written down. But I do want you to know that our prizes will be given out. You got to check with tonight? We'll give it tonight now, so I want you to do your best. Okay. Our next teller is, dun, dun, dun. No Beauty. Where is No?
Okay, raise your hand if you have ever cleaned out anyone's house. If you don't have your hand up, you are going to clean out someone's house. In 2019, my mother went into a nursing home, and my brothers and my sister and I were charged with cleaning out the house. We called our kids and said, is there anything you want from Grandma and Grandpa's house that you want to keep? My daughter said a couple of necklaces. We found them quickly. My son said, there's this clear looking paperweight that has balls that kind of float in the paperweight. And my wife and I looked at each other, and I looked at my sister and brothers and said, I have never seen that in my life. And so we cleaned out the house. We threw everything in the dumpster, gave it to each, whoever wanted certain things, and you always want things your parents had. Then we're walking out of the garage, and on a picnic table there's a little box, and we opened it up, and there is a clear paperweight, plastic, with little balls floating in it when you turned it over. So we took a picture and sent it to my son, and my son said, that's it. We immediately grabbed the stuff, took it home, put it on the bookshelf. After we had it on the bookshelf, we thought, I never want my kids to have to do what we're doing. We are going to clean our house now. We're not going to keep all this junk that we've been keeping. So we go through our house and we start putting stuff in boxes. And then we take it to Goodwill, and we've got rid of tons of junk. And then we start to head to my son's house in Salt Lake City, and my wife says, where's the paperweight? And I said, it was in a little box right there in the laundry room. And she said, we took that to Goodwill. And so we go to 4 or 5 Goodwills, including the one we took it to, and they say, there is no way you're ever going to see that again. We don't keep that stuff. And for 2 years, my wife checked eBay with tears in her eyes all the time, thinking sometime that paperweight is going to come up for sale. Because it's a piece of junk, nobody would want it. And it never happened. November, she found one like it. Exact replica, except it didn't have colored balls floating, it had gold hearts floating it. And she bought it immediately. She didn't tell me the price. She got it. We wrapped it for his Christmas. During the pandemic, we did not do Christmas. None of the kids came home. We didn't put up a tree. We didn't take down decorations. We did nothing. But last year we did. And I carried this huge box downstairs, dropped it on the table, opened the flaps, and on top of that box is the paperweight with floating balls in the paperweight. And so we wrapped it and gave it to my son. Now, this was either a miracle, a Christmas miracle, or a sign of dementia. I will let you guys choose.
Every time I make a mistake, I think, oh my God, it's starting. If you have a certain age, every time you go to the doctor, they give you a test. You gotta draw a clock. You gotta put numbers on them. You gotta put 3 o'clock. You gotta draw the arrows where they should be. I'm telling you now, these are giving 3 words that you have to remember. And they talk about a lot of other things before they ask you those 3 words. But all the while you're sitting there saying, no, nothing cheap. Because when Trump started saying this on the news, I knew exactly what he was talking about. Because I was there when they started asking my mother those questions. Now they're asking me those questions. And whatever you do, don't forget, because they will write down that you are at a diminished capacity. It is on my record, okay? So, I understand. Now, is there anybody back there who still needs a slip of paper to fill out? And still sat down. You don't have to get up. Just pass. Just like, oh, I thought you had something filled out. Okay, if you need a slip of paper, paper. Samantha will complete it for you, or you can do it, but she'll bring it up here. Okay, I can't get the one. Ah, I was wondering whether or not we would be dominated by men tonight. You know, we got to think about that. But right now, our next color is Tracy Lynn.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Yeah. Okay. Memories and mementos. I thought of this when I about what are mementos, right? Memories and mementos. And I started thinking about what are my mementos? Well, my pictures of my children when they were little. And I can open those photo albums because yes, I still make photo albums. And yes, I still do scrapbooking with my wonderful cousin who's a scrapbooking expert. But yes, I do those things. And when I open those photo albums and look into those photo albums and I see the children and when they were younger and so cute, and I can look at each little picture and I can say, oh, I remember when this happened. Oh, I can remember when that happened. And then I'll see a picture of myself and I can say, oh, I remember when she was young. Oh, that's me. Oh, no. Oh, and then tears come. No more laughter. Tears. And so I think that's my biggest. I'm not even going to say it, insane amount of pictures on my phone. And as soon as I learn how to put them in some kind of saving case, I'm going to do that. But that's my main one. That's my main memento. And I continue to take pictures and I continue to make photo albums to pass down to my children when I'm gone. And then my second thing, and I heard Joe speak about it, music. Oh, music is a memento. Because that song will come on and you'll break out into the four corners in a minute. Oh, sure. You know, you remember, oh, I remember I was doing this. Oh, I remember I was doing that when that song comes on. So that's my other big memento. And then the memento that I will carry with me until I leave here, till I leave this earth for the rest of my life, I will carry this memento. And that's arthritis in my knees. But doing those four corners. Too much.
That was a good one. I was walking better today before I came here. I think I need to be in bed. You know, old people go to bed when it gets dark. But you can all agree that it's dark outside. Listen, this is a free event. You do know that. But just in case you want to donate to Storytelling Arts or to Freetown Village, you may text 44321 with SAI in the body of the text, and the donations will be split between both organizations. Now, how many of you done the QR code? What do you want me to do? Okay. All right, don't forget. Maybe I can entice some more tellers if I let you know that the third place winner will receive $10, the second place winner will receive $25, and the first place winner receives $50. It's still time to go Christmas shopping. Now, I hope you have been receiving your notification from Storytelling Arts because Storyteller Peter Cook will be at Indiana History Center on January 14th. I'm just wasting time so that you can think about a story that you want to tell. And I'm reaching into this man red basket. Uh-oh, it's hard to be good. Samantha Powers is our next teller.
Right. So this is my third time telling a story, and the first two times I talked about my husband. However, way before my husband was the number one man in my life, there was my dad. So you see, my mom passed when I was 6 years old, and my dad became not just the sole provider for my family, but the sole caretaker as well. And this means spending as much time as he could with me, a 6-year-old girl who had just lost her. And he did that the only way he knew how, and that was take me to an almost unreasonable amount of baseball games, particularly White Sox games up in Chicago. And he is a diehard White Sox fan. He always has been. So this was his way to kind of connect with me in my time of need. And it was great. We went to so many games. So many games that the security guards knew my name. Some players knew my name. I had caught so many foul balls that I was handing them away like party favors. Again, I was only 6 years old. We had such a great time at all those games. And through each of those games and all the autograph signings we went to, we collected many so baseball cards and hats and jerseys and stuffed animals with a little White Sox logo on them. You name it, I had it. So at one point, my dad and I got into a little bit of an argument. Looking back, it probably seemingly trivial, but in my 6-year-old mind, it was a big deal. My dad kind of shrugged, he walked away, and I stomped up those stairs one by one, and I remember in the heat of the moment, whirling around my room like a tornado, collecting every single White Sox item that I owned. And I angrily took every item and tossed it into a pile outside my door, and I wrote a note that said, "Dad, I am no longer a White Sox fan. Love, Sam." About 15 minutes later, my dad figured he should come back and, kind of work it out, make amends. And he goes to knock on my door, and he said, he stared at the sign, he looked down at the pile of stuff, looked back at the sign, kind of shrugged it off, and decided to give me a little more time. So he goes back downstairs, and about 30 minutes or so later, I come up, and I have tears in my eyes. And I said, "Dad, I'm so sorry." I burst into tears, and I'm sorry for what? And I said, "That sign upstairs, I know you saw it." Yeah, I said, "I tried to hurt your feelings. I tried to make you mad." He said, "That's okay." And I said, "I will always be a White Sox fan, Dad." And he said, "I know, and I'm grateful for that." And he kind of chuckled at himself, and flash forward to now, and I am a mother, a 2-year-old daughter, who I love very much. And my dad has since then moved closer to us to spend time with my daughter. And through his, what he likes to call downsizing, he's got rid of a lot of his memorabilia and a lot of those mementos that we had collected. But I know that somewhere in the pile of what remains, there are a few special ones that I will keep and I will pass on to my mother in hopes that she too will forever be a diehard fan of a mediocre baseball team.
Thank you, Samantha. That's what we grew up going to baseball games at Freetown, Commission Park. I would always take a book. I only went for the snacks. Okay. My mom would always berate my aunt for being a Cubs fan. And every time they would win a game, when they won the World Series, I just said, "Ruby, they finally made it." And I think about her all the time when I watch the games. Now listen, I know somebody got there and thought about that story. Don't be shy. Samantha has a blank form you can complete for a story. So we got cash money, y'all. Samantha, wait those forms in there. Wait like that's not there. All right. Well, right now, chat. You're back. Chat back.
Jimmy Beck, last time. Rummaging through my storage unit, we found a box with things that survived my house fire 3 decades ago, and got put in that box and never saw the light of day. No. No. One was a photo of me about age 4, stretched out alongside my bestie in one long lawn chair with space to spare, like some picture of suburban bliss, but in miniature, and with a goofy expression on one of our faces. She had the more dignified one, as you would expect for the older woman. Just older, maybe I never knew. Neither of us had started school yet. So we had those endless long days together, not much thought into age or gender. In that picture, I don't think it's a smudge on the print. I think her knees are muddier than mine. And then she started school, and then we were in 2 different ones, and then always together turned into never for years. Until one day Mom said, "Hey, come to the door, Steve was stopped by for a visit." I was no more than 11, because that's the year we moved, and at the door is this very teenage girl. And none of that stuff had happened to me yet, and my reaction you might sum up as, "Who are you, and what have you done with my body?" So that said, maybe her personality hasn't changed as much as all that. She was a little muddy that day too, and we went out in back to the fence, and we sat on the rail to see if some of that old bestie magic would come back. But after all that time, it didn't really. And we talked for a while and said goodbye, and we've not been in touch since. I've never forgotten her name or all that time we spent together those early years, but even her face had gone all indistinct for me until that photo turned up that survived the fire. And another memory from those same early years will always stay indistinct, because you'll be relieved that no photo was taken. She had the very first curl parts I ever saw. And I'll never forget that, or where that, as cliche as it sounds, behind the bushes outside the front of her house. And what I remember is not so much the seeing as the reason she wanted to show me. Being clear that I have not kept up with her later thinking on this subject, at the time, she saw those parts as being more boy-like. And I don't know what she thought my opinion was going to be worth. That's still years before I'd even see those tidied up drawings in school books. I knew, I guess, a little bit about boy parts, so it was easy enough to say, well, really not the same here. But sure as I stand here, she showed me what she could grasp and go through the motions of pointing, and I had to admit, nothing I had heard about girl parts told me what to say to that. And I still don't know. If a memory was like a photo, I could look again, knowing a little more now than I did. And maybe it would all become clear. Maybe it's simple. Did she have very majestic labia that seemed like a big deal to her? Or what are the chances I might have known as my earliest bestest friend, one of the small number of people built with hearts on their own custom. The only photo I have doesn't answer this question. It has the two of us on a lawn chair. It was just the right size to slip in my pocket on Thanksgiving Day, where it would be not far from my heart, while my mom was holding forth on all the things that are wrong with the world today. One of them being, way back when she was raising me, boys were boys and girls were girls. None of that was complicated. And I just why I wonder.
Thank you very much. That's why my mother would not let me go outside and play with them boys. Anybody got a story they just thought of that thoughts and memory sale? Nobody people over. You got one? I can tell you got one. I can tell. Yeah. Okay, reach in here, pull out another name while you're thinking. Well, Samantha's got these blank forms. You want to tell a story? She's going to pass out some yellow slips. We want you to complete those slips because if you're lucky, are we having a journal in the yes. You will get free tickets to see Peter Cook. Mike Smith is going to come up and tell us the story.
Hello, I'm Mike. So I only learned about this topic right before we began. But it's a tough one for me because there's only one person in the room that knows, but I am the complete middle. So I don't have mementos. So let's talk about memories. So we all have one person in our lives who is the greatest. And for me, that person is my grandfather on my mother's side. And he was the most wonderful person. He was a farmer. I'm from Kentucky. He's from Kentucky. He was a farmer in going to Kentucky all his life, born and raised. Until tobacco farm. Until he couldn't raise tobacco anymore. And he moved his family to the city. And he became a assembly line worker at General Electric. And he worked there all his life. And he kept his farm. And as I grew as a young man, he would keep his farm, he would take me to his farm. He would work on his farm. He had cows, cattle, and a cat. He had the most amazing things that you learn about all his life. And he would just like always enjoy no matter what he was doing. And this became my best friend. So we would watch. I remember growing up, we would watch at his house. We would watch wrestling, which he believed was real. And we would watch him. And as this man became older and older, he grew close to him. And as he got sick, he asked that no one would cut his lawn except me. Because that was a big deal to him. Because he didn't believe anybody could do it except me. And he would always praise me afterwards and say, you know, that's how I would, that's those lines. He would look the lines like those. And you talk about your stories. people dying of all these things, right? Well, my kids won't have that, but he had that problem. And when he died, all of these things, people didn't do the things because there was nothing in his will to talk about the things except one. And what did he say? He said he wanted Michael to have all of his things. And I still have those. So those were packaged up. They were given to me. And I have them all. And would I ever get rid of any of them? No. Never on your life. And as I swing an axe, as I hammer a nail, as I screw a screw, I think of him as the most amazing thing that the world ever given to me. So those are my only mementos. And you can even check my, I have 2 kids. I have like 10 pictures.
There. And most of them are my cats.
Maybe like one of each kid and 8 of the cats. And I had something.
You know, I have lots of photos, because, you know, before they had telephone, we had those Polaroids, and every once in a while, I'll take a picture and I'll scan it into a computer and put a Black Thursday picture of one of my kids now grown in the army, you know, some position of authority. And they'll go, oh, Miss Cooper, that picture. I said, girl, I love that picture. I had lost weight, I was thin. We were at a contest downtown. It was the first time I take the kids to the Young Who's Book Award back. So I said, now watch it, because I had many. But I got enough to tell them. Show the supporters, come on down.
All right. Forgive me, I came here tonight. I thought this was bingo. I was told wrong. But then I heard stories, and I love stories. I think it's really tell stories, and so how we come together. And so I thought, I'll stand up and give it a try. Now, growing up and still today, my favorite animal by far is a giraffe. I don't have a lot in common with them. I'm about 4'10", fully grown, I promise. And yet, I've always been raised on the grass. And I think because we don't want something in common, that's that I lived there until I was about 7, a very special place in my heart. Kenya is a country on the east coast of Africa. We probably know it from the Lion King. I know it because that's where I was born and where I was raised. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. The animals are incredible. I didn't realize how lucky I was to see them growing up until I couldn't see them anymore. But when I was 7, I did have the foresight saying, I'm going to miss these giraffes one day. So before we left Kenya, my parents said, we're going to take you to the market. And there's a lot of beautiful things at the market. And they said, we're going to let you pick out anything that you want to take with you. And I walked in there, and I set my sights on a 3-foot tall wooden giraffe. And my parents said, how did you sit on the plane? I said, I don't care. I want that giraffe. They said, that thing is taller than you. How old is he taller than you? I said, I don't care. I want that 3-foot tall giraffe. And they got it for me. And for years, it sat in my dad's office. And about 2 years ago, I got married. My dad said, take it with you. So I moved out, and I took my giraffe with me. I have him seated up behind my TV. His whole head peeks over the TV. So every time I'm watching TV, I look up and I see his little head peeking over there. And now it's Christmas time. It's a lot cooler here than it was in Kenya. I miss my warm Christmases, but I do like all those things I said. So here's the thing. I'm hoping I'm in tonight. Get a little bit of money, even just a little bit. Because I've been wanting to buy that free for cold winter grab a stand to have for Christmas.
Anybody else? Still time. One year, our students had to make paper mache animals, and they knew I collected elephants. So they made an elephant paper mache. I think we take them almost the size of small elephants, full size. Did all the research and everything. And someone also made a giraffe. And my principal looked at me and she looked at the other and said, "You cannot keep it. You cannot keep it. You cannot keep it." So as a compromise, she let me keep the giraffe. And I would put hats on that giraffe as a season thing. So if you don't get a Santa hat, I'm gonna have to do you one man. All right. Listen, is there anybody else who has a story about memories? Memories. Okay, Donna Cruz is coming on down.
Yeah, just was telling you like. Something continue in that vein. Eventually, it's slightly different because I come from a large. Let's see there. However, I am no child. So, I just got in 2 payments. So, my mom passed away first. My mom passed away when I was 35. In 1989, day after Christmas. So, that's an anniversary coming up for me. It's going to be whatever. But, I did have to clear out her stuff from her husband. Yeah, clear about that because once she got it was really her. And then in 2003, my dad passed away. Now, my dad, when he divorced my mom when I was 40, moved in with my great aunt Josephine Jackson, who's a rather domineering type of person. So the two of them lived in the house that I now live in. And she had been a support. The people that she worked for, yeah. Now, the style of house is called cottage house. You can have a circular floor plan as an attic, as a basement. In that basement, there was an old cabin, an old chase because over the course of my grandmother's life, she took up things like upholstery, which they used to offer at Tech Hospital. So you do it. Yeah, that's furniture. Never got upholstery. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of you in here remember seeing the Three Stooges cartoons where they had that vibrator belt thing. You know, turning on it. Whatever. There was actually one of those in the basement.
Big 10.
But actually one of those in the basement. And my dad was not as big a hoarder as she was. And so I ended up, after my dad passed, and I had that house, I ordered an 80-yard dumpster, which is probably about as long as 1, 2, 3, 4 of these windows. It's almost as tall. We built it in a day. I had to come back in the next day and order it. So I still have some things that did belong to my dad, as well as some things that belong to my mom. But thinking about them right now in this time, after hearing your story, I just have to laugh and chuck up in myself. Dead television, dead radio, the old cable slides with the 26 channels, you read nothing. So those are the kinds of memories. And they're good memories. I enjoy it. I just have to think about that stuff. So now, somebody else said, you tell them, whether it's about the clearing out your dad's house, your mom's house, your sister's house, or, you know, that ashtray that you made for the first garden that your parents still have. Does my mom kept that thing too? Thank you very much.
Now, it's very rare though, that when you get mementos, that they actually have value. Because I keep reading all these AARP articles saying things your kids don't want. Get rid of them now. No, they don't want that piece of china. No, they don't want your grandmother's metal bed. But now, if I recall correctly, you got some cool stuff. What's that dog called? A Casper, the talking ghost dog. Her mother was a jazz aficionado. All of those 16, I didn't say 33, 16, and 78 size album. So you got some cool stuff. You know, I'm just naming those too. But your mother was cool enough that when she knew she was leaving us, she started giving people things that she wanted them to have. Now, I just went to a funeral on the night, and one of the big giveaways, she went to sleep, didn't wake up, was that people need to be prepared. And people are not prepared. I'm not prepared. When I go, just say, go fund me. I just sell something, okay? Lord gave me another cremate. But they were talking about how you need to be prepared and tell people while you are alive what you want them to have. And on the other hand, I remember you telling me that story about your being at your grandmother's or great grandmother's funeral, and your uncle had bought a lawnmower, and instead of him going to the funeral, he was at the house getting the lawnmower when anybody could get home. Those are the memories I have. Don't say nothing around me because I'm going to remember it and I'm going to use it in a story. All right? Is there anybody else who has a story to tell? Have we joined yourselves yet? It's not been an hour yet. Now don't make me keep talking. Who are our judges? We have our thank you. We won't tell yes to the records come up. And our timekeeper and our scorekeeper. And somebody on the I'll say this. Say what? Time. I'd like to thank you for coming out. On January 14th is 10 o'clock. On January 18th is Storytelling Arts Story Slam at Ralston's at Freetown, Massachusetts Avenue. 6:45. This is one of these notes. You know this is not there. And anyway, hope to see you again. Snow, rain, sleep, or shine. To be done. Come see us. Are we ready with the results? Now, do you want to put tickets first? Peter Cook is coming on the 14th, and if you would like to come, the lucky person on one of these yellow slips will be able to bring a date. The winner is Blank Farm. That was me. That was me. Erica, congratulations. Have you completed your QR codes? Take your phone and let's do our QR codes while we are waiting for the judges. We have representative here from Indiana Arts Council. Is that what you told me? Did I make that up? And we want you to take a few minutes to complete this QR code survey. Because we need this information. We need more of these activities going on in the city of Indianapolis, in the county of Marion, in the state of Indiana. All right. Okay. I can tell by your bated breath that you want to know the results of this contest. And I'd like to thank all the talents you told here tonight. Third place. Yay, this person's show will be getting their hat we do want all the winners to come up and we'll take their pictures at the end. Second place, Tracy, congratulations. And first place, No Yule, congratulations. We're going to get our pictures taken with them. Ellen's going to write the check, but if I can have my winners come line up first, second, and third, we'll take this lovely picture so we can let the world know how skilled and talented you are.
Talented you are. Where's Tracy?